When people talk about legendary guns, the word gets tossed around so much it starts to lose meaning. But in the case of the Colt 1911, it earned every letter of it. This pistol is over a century old, has fought in 2 world wars, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and still serves today in some military units. It's rugged, powerful, and dependable. The kind of gun soldiers trust when everything else goes wrong. To understand where the Colt 1911 came from, we need to rewind a bit to 1898 and to the deck of the USS Maine in Havana Harbor. War, revolvers, and a problem in the Philippines. The battleship was in Cuba to protect American interests during Cuba's struggle for independence from Spain. Then, boom, it exploded. It was probably an accident, but the newspapers whipped the public into a frenzy, demanding war, and the U.S. obliged. The Spanish-American War was short, and America came out on top, picking up new territories, including the Philippines. But the locals weren't exactly rolling out the welcome mat. Soon, the Philippine-American War broke out, and in the southern islands, the Americans faced the Moro, fierce tribal warriors who fought with a mix of skill, tradition, and sheer fearlessness. Reports say the Moro would sometimes wrap themselves in thick ropes or vines as makeshift armor, and even take drugs before charging into battle. And here's the problem. The U.S. Army's standard-issue sidearm, the double-action .38 Colt revolver, just wasn't stopping them. There were cases where soldiers emptied an entire cylinder into a charging Moro, and the warrior kept coming. Sometimes, the American soldier was dead before the Moro could be stopped. Clearly, the Army needed a sidearm with more stopping power. Bigger bullet, better gun. Enter 2 men, Colonel John T. Thompson, the same man who'd later create the Thompson submachine gun, and Major Louis Lagarde. The Army tasked them with finding a replacement pistol, and their methods were, well, controversial. They carried out ballistic tests at a Chicago slaughterhouse, firing into animal carcasses to test penetration and stopping power. Their conclusion? The new pistol needed to be chambered in nothing smaller than .45 caliber. A slow but heavy round that hit like a sledgehammer. By 1907, the U.S. military opened a competition. Gun makers were told the pistol had to be semi-automatic, minimum 6-round magazine, trigger pull under 6 pounds, and easy to strip down and maintain in the field. Entries poured in from Smith & Wesson, Savage Arms, the German company Luger, Webley from Britain, Bergmann, and Colt, working with genius designer John Moses Browning. The Browning design versus the Savage. After initial testing, only 2 pistols made the final cut, the Savage Arms entry and the Browning's Colt. The Savage had a bigger magazine and was lighter, but the Colt was more reliable, and reliability is king in combat. The final showdown came in March 1911. Both pistols faced brutal testing, fired thousands of rounds, dunked in water, packed with sand, fed deformed ammunition. The Savage had 37 malfunctions out of 6,000 rounds. Not bad. The Colt, not a single jam. On March 29, 1911, the Army officially adopted Browning's design as the M1911. The M1911, built for war. Unloaded, it weighed about 1.1 kilograms, that's 2.4 pounds. The overall length was 21 centimeters, or about 8 1/4 inches. The barrel was 12.7 centimeters, that's 5 inches. 7-round magazine firing 45 ACP cartridges. It was semi-automatic and recoil operated. Each trigger pull fires 1 shot, and the recoil cycles the next round. The M1911's first uses are debated. Some British officers bought them privately and may have carried them in colonial conflicts. The U.S. first issued it in the Philippines in 1913. Used it during the 1914 Veracruz landings and in the expedition to hunt down Pancho Villa in Mexico, but its true baptism of fire was yet to come. World War I, the Colt proves itself. In 1917, the U.S. entered World War I. In the nightmare of trench warfare, the M1911 was a godsend. Close quarters trench raids, brutal no-man's land charges, tight, muddy dugouts. The hard-hitting .45 was exactly what you wanted when the enemy was close enough to smell them. There weren't enough of them to go around. Officers got priority, but production ramped up fast. Colt even subcontracted to other manufacturers to meet demand. One legendary moment came courtesy of Sergeant Alvin York. After silencing multiple German machine gun nests with his rifle, York was charged by a group of enemy soldiers. He switched to his M1911, and working from the back of the line forward, he dropped 6 of them, 1 shot each. That day, he killed over 20 and captured 132 Germans. He got the Medal of Honor, and the 1911 got another notch in its legend. Improvements: the M1911A1. After the war, troops loved the pistol, but wanted a few tweaks: shorter trigger, arched mainspring housing for a better grip, longer grip safety spur to prevent hammer bite, and improved sights. In 1926, the upgraded M1911A1 entered service. It wasn't just made in America. Production spread to Argentina, Norway, Canada, and Spain. By the end of World War II, more than 2 million had been produced. World War II, the sidearm of victory. In World War II, the 1911A1 was everywhere, with officers, NCOs, pilots, truck drivers, tank crews, basically anyone who might need a sidearm. The Army introduced the M1 carbine to replace pistols for rear troops, but the .30 caliber carbine lacked the raw stopping power of the .45. Many soldiers stuck with the 1911. Strangely, even the Germans used them. After occupying Norway, they took over the Kongsberg factory making licensed 1911s. Instead of retooling, they kept making them, calling it the Pistola 657N. Korea, Vietnam, and the Tunnel Rats. The M1911A1 fought in Korea and Vietnam. In Vietnam, it became the best friend of the Tunnel Rats, soldiers who crawled into pitch-black Viet Cong tunnels. In those cramped, suffocating spaces, a compact, powerful sidearm was priceless. The official replacement, but not the end. In the mid-1980s, the Beretta M9 officially replaced the M1911A1, but many soldiers weren't ready to give it up. In 1993, in Mogadishu, Somalia, Delta Force snipers Gary Gordon and Randy Sugart used their M1911s to defend a downed helicopter pilot after running out of rifle ammo. Both were killed in action and posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. Even today, certain U.S. Special Forces still carry custom 1911 variants. Law enforcement and civilian life. The 1911 has also been a law enforcement favorite. Adopted early on by the Texas Rangers, the Border Patrol, and the FBI, many police departments still issue or allow it. For civilians, the pistol has cult status. Original World War I and World War II 1911s are treasured collectibles. Modern versions are made by over 150 companies worldwide, in everything from classic GI configurations to highly customized competition models. A century of service. From the jungle of the Philippines to the deserts of Iraq, the Colt 1911 has earned a reputation as one of the most reliable, battle-proven pistols ever made. It is the longest-serving military handgun in history, and it's still going strong after more than 110 years. Not bad for a weapon designed before World War I.